Welcome to our next panel discussion on state of states with focus on energy. Uh, Let me introduce our moderator of the show, Mr. Bhushan Mohan, who is Senior Fellow, Scotch Development Foundation and former Principal Consultant with PwC. He's an industry veteran and worked as Principal Consultant NeGD, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. He was responsible for policies, guidelines, and strategy for implementation of NEGP with a vision to bring public services within the reach of the citizen. He's contributed extensively in areas of policy formulation, strategic planning, business development, procurement, and technology assessment. Welcome to the show. Our panelists, Mr. Sunit Kumar, Director Technical, Rajasthan Renewable Energy Corporation Limited, who's a BE and MBA Finance and also a certified energy auditor, having an experience of more than 28 years in the field of renewable energy, more than 10 years in energy conservation related areas. Mr. A. Gopal Rao, Chairman and Managing Director, Northern Power Distribution Company of Telangana. Prior to joining TSN PDCL, he served as OSD from August 2003 to July 2004. He is on company board of directors as chairman since 20th of October 2016. His efforts and outstanding performance in efficient disposal of applications with TS iPass that has been widely acclaimed by the Chief Minister himself. Mr. Prasanna Kumar Motupalli, Managing Director, Gujarat State Electricity Corporation Limited, Masters in Business Administration, Postgraduate Diploma in Operations Management, Marketing Management, Human Resources and Financial Management. During his tenure, he has worked in the maintenance of super thermal power stations at NTPC. His responsibility included the maintenance of high pressure boilers, operation and maintenance of coal handling systems, heading coal transportation, fuel coordination systems, to name a few. Mr. Satish Chandra Roy, Executive Director, Engineering, West Bengal Power Development Corporation. He's an industry veteran in field of project management and has vast experience in executing various projects in power, mining, port, and state sector. He started his career in Larsen and Toubro and executed power projects for BHEL, NTPC, Steel Authority of India, and also for Paradip Port Trust. With this, I hand over the mic to Mr. Bhushan Mohan.
Thank you very much. Prasanna, it's really a pleasure to be a part of this group and to be part of SKOCH discussions. I think that's really a privilege to be a part of all this, and especially talking about the core sector like energy with the industry stalwarts who are present today, you have just introduced. As we all know, energy, especially the electric power, is one of the core infrastructure as far as our country is concerned. It is this particular infrastructure which is directly responsible for the productivity and the industry in the country. Not only the industry, but also the agriculture. Agriculture today really depends upon electric power for the, not only for irrigation. Yes, irrigation, it depends for almost 80-90%. But with the mechanized farming coming, it really contributes a lot. It's power is really the backbone as far as the agriculture is concerned. It is the backbone as far as the manufacturing is concerned. It is the backbone as far as the transportation is concerned, because yes, we have had a lot of fossil fuel till so far, but moving towards the green energy, it is the electric power which is important. And electric power, if we really see, starts off from the generation to the transmission to the distribution. And the way we are going about it, we are moving out from slowly. It will take time from the fossil fuel to more and more of renewable energies, be it in the form of, we always had hydropower earlier, but now it is in the form of the wind power and presently the solar power. So the renewable industry power really makes a lot of sense and has a lot of direction in the time to come. Let me now start off with Mr. A. Gopal Rao, who is the managing director of the Northern Power Distribution Company of Telangana, to briefly talk about what are the key challenges in the distribution, which really goes to the end user. And end user is really the one who is using this particular thing. So keeping the end user in time, what does he feel about what all he has achieved over the last few years? And what does he feel about where we are going to be in the next 5 years? Mr. Gopala Rao, over to you.
Good evening, sir. This is Gopal Rao, CMD NPDCL from Warangal. At the outset, I extend my warm greetings to you all on the occasion of the conducting a panel discussion, and I congratulate the SKOCH Group for organizing this coveted program of panel discussion, which is envisaged as a national platform to share innovative ideas for the transformation of PSUs to realize the vision of New India 2030. For all, first, I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to SKOCH Group for recognizing the all-round development of TS NPDCL and confirming the two prestigious SKOCH Awards for implementation of innovative IRDA metering technology and distributed solar generation system. It is immense pleasure to receive these two awards on virtual platform. See, this is all what happened because of the visionary Honorable Chief Minister. We have got a, see, on the first day of his exemption as the Chief Minister of the newborn Telangana state, he has signed a first GO to appoint a chairman and managing director to the electricity organization. That itself is clearly indicates how the Chief Minister has a vision to develop the state which was reeling under the darkness. So this is the major planning of Honorable Chief Minister, and under the leadership of Honorable Power Minister Mr. Jagdish Reddy, and with the able participation of the CMD, Transco, Genco, and guidance for the distribution companies. This is all happened because of the Chief Minister's visionary. Because you all know that this Telangana state was reeling under the darkness and having so many power cuts even to the industries. At that particular time, there was a huge demand to shift all the industries from Telangana to other states because there was huge number of power holidays, huge number of power cuts, and the power supplied is also not reliable, not satisfactory. So under these circumstances, the Telangana state was born, and Honorable Chief Minister has taken a real concrete decision to improve the state with the development of the electricity organization. See, in this, what I want to tell is the contracted capacity of the state has been increased from 7,778 megawatts to 17,228 megawatts during the last 7 years. Substantial amount of 35,968 crores has been invested towards strengthening of the T&D system. As a result, probably everyone of the electricity consumer is very well aware that per capita consumption of Telangana is the number one in the whole India. This is a real indication of how the electricity has progressed in Telangana state and how it helped in development. As you all know, the electricity is one of the prime this one to gauge the development of any state or country or anything. So this is what happened because of the Honorable Chief Minister's vision. Telangana, see, this state has been transformed into the brightness from the darkness as a result of the visionary Chief Minister. And he has given sufficient support for development of this organization. So this is how this has developed. Coming to the how we are really interested in to serving the end consumers. This is the distribution companies are formed to serve the electricity consumers. See, as you all know, this state is having 26,000 agricultural consumers, and totally there are about 2.5 lakh total consumers. So this is the rate at which we are progressing day or year on year. There is a 14% growth in the connected load, 14% growth in release of services. But probably India is Telangana is one of the states which is only giving a 24/7 power supply to agriculture consumers freely. This is why happened because of see, earlier this Telangana was having a dried lands, and there was no sufficient water for irrigation of the and the production of the paddy or the other crops is very meager, and we are all dependent on the Andhra. So this was transformed because of the Godavari, which is just flowing downstream of the Telangana, was made to lift the water to the level of 600 meters, and all storage tanks were constructed at different levels, made Lower Maneru Dam, Mid Maneru Dam, Upper Maneru Dam, and Mallanna Sagar. These are the huge dams constructed, and all dams are full of water, and now the agriculturists are very happy to have this Godavari water for irrigation of their agriculture. Probably everyone in the country knows that how our paddy cultivation has gone up. It is amazing. It is amazing. So this way, end consumer of 26,000, 20 lakhs of agriculture consumers were benefited by the use of this Godavari water, and the lift. It is possible only with the infrastructure development at the 400, 220 and 132 kV substations. And it is having about 130 megawatt pumps at various lifting stations. This is almost unique even in the total states. So this way, the Honorable Chief Minister's vision has really realized. As a result, the groundwater level has increased by 2 to 3 meters, and the agriculture pump sets, agriculture borewells, which were defunct, were all now brought into service. As a result, paddy cultivation has increased like abnormally. Even it has reached the level of Punjab. So this is the state of affairs in agriculture. Similarly, we have not stopped satisfied with the development of agriculture. Similarly, in case of IT, number of IT companies have come to the Hyderabad state, and now we are about to cross Bangalore, which was having a very good facility earlier. Now Telangana is going to be one of the important place for these IT companies. Similarly, industries also, we have given now we are giving a reliable, satisfactory power supply to all industrial consumers at a reasonable prices. Please see, our industrial prices are comparatively lower than all other states. recently, this was, everybody is very well aware of it. Still, we are trying to give, even to some industries, government is giving this, what you call, subsidy. And one more thing, end consumers, what the panel, the coordinators have said, end consumer, as far as end consumers is concerned, because Telangana happens to be poor state, having a 30% of the area covered by the forest, and most Adivasis and tribal people are living in the nook and corner of the forest. We are now giving total electricity to all the places wherever the Adivasis or tribals are living. As a, not only that, we are giving a free supply to these SCs, STs, and these Adivasis and other things up to 100 units per month. Similarly, we have also given to the backward classes like washerman, hair cutting salons, all this. So all these measures also taken by the government to see that the end consumers are satisfied with the developed electricity. As everybody, even to the hospitals, we are having alternate supply to all these hospitals, and there is no case where damages have taken place because of the non-availability of power supply during the corona period. See, this is one of the major achievements as a result of the development of the electricity in Telangana state. This is how we are flourishing. This is how we are all committed to serve the consumers on the advice of the our government. So this is how our developed nation. See, not only this.
You have done an excellent work, I can clearly see. How has been your T&D losses? Anything on the T&D losses?
See, there were 14 or 15% losses before formation of this Telangana state, and now we have brought down to the level of 10%.
Okay.
10%. But there is a still scope for reduction of the T&D losses. We are trying our level best. See, we have installed about the capacitors to reduce the reactive power. As a result, our voltages have improved. Our losses have come down. Our loadings on the feeders have come down. As a result, your interruptions have come down. See, this is the vision. See, and not only, we have constructed about 400 kV substation in the state. I think it is the 13 or 15 substations of 400 kV. You can just imagine how 220 kV. Recently, we have constructed Raya Durga. It's a substation where we have used monopoles. See, because it's a dense populated area of the city. So to avoid all this ROW and all this problem, this is a gas insulated substation with a little amount of land. We were able to construct a 400 kV, 220 kV and 132 kV substation at Rayadur in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a vast developing city. So we are now able to give a total supply to each and everybody, whoever wants the electricity within a reasonable. See, our ERC also specified standards of service in release of services, in maintaining the supply. All these standards of service were communicated by the ERC, and a regulator is always pursuing and always monitoring this figure. So this is how we are trying our level best to.
Good. Excellent. We'll come back to you after others finish their things. We will again come back in case we have more questions on that. But I must say that you have done an excellent job. I'm really impressed with the way the end user and especially the agriculture sector has been taken care. And I've actually been seeing the agriculture production over the last 7-8 years have really gone up, I think primarily because of the irrigation power which they have received. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
come back. We'll come back.
Okay.
Let me now quickly go to the next speaker, Mr. Prasanna Kumar Motupalli, Managing Director of the Gujarat State Electricity Corporation. And let us have his views on what Gujarat has done for the power sector.
Good afternoon, everybody. And first of all, we are thankful to SKOCH Group and jury members to recognize our project. And this is very unique project for solar. As we know, solar is now future demand of our country, and what goal is set up by our country and Honorable Prime Minister. We have to aggressively go for the solar, and in that case, Gujarat State Chief Minister of Gujarat and other higher authority of the Gujarat discussed how to go ahead with the solar with new idea, and for state farmer we want to do something, and the main goal for this project is farmer of the state during the daytime power and cheaper power to the farmer. And looking to this system, we discuss, and now government of Gujarat has published one notification to allocate the land at token rupees 1 to Gujarat State Electricity Corporation Limited to develop the solar project in Westland near substation of Gujarat State. And our target is 2,500 megawatt, and we have already awarded more than 600 megawatt order to various parties, and 400 megawatt under tenderization, and another activities is going on. Uh, and this is the very unique. Why it is unique? Because it is in this case we are utilizing wasteland, not useful land for the solar. And everybody is knowing wasteland is very unused and unidentified area and remote area of the state, and we are developing this area. So and near substation we are developing this area uh, solar generation, and we have commissioned recently second project near Khandya. First of all, we have commissioned 30 megawatt in Chandra. We have mentioned in this project, and now again we have commissioned Khandya in Bhavnagar district, and another two projects we are going to commission in this month. So this is a very important, and for this innovation we use wasteland in vicinity of transmission substation, optimization of land uses using outland acquisition, provide daytime and cheaper power to state farmer, no evacuation challenges, a very minimal and insignificant transmission losses, as power is directly fed to transmission substation, because we are developing this to near transmission substation. So transmission loss is also reduced, and reduction in cost of power supply to consumer, minimum minimization of demand and supply gap during the daytime. And our main target of state is providing the 8 hours electricity in daytime to farmer, Gujarat State farmer. This is main motto of this project. Also, also we, as we know, a lot of challenges with these projects are there. Initially, when we are started Western identification and applying to state administration and collector and everybody, then they will allotted to land to GSCCL, and we are developing this area. And so many challenges, because Westland is a very uneven, near lot of distributed in parcel and lesser area, and various kind of problems with soil and other activities is also there. But we successfully commissioned this project, first project at Chandra, and another project at Khandia and now Haripur and Palitana. Both projects will commission in this month. And next month, again, we 55 megawatts and also we will commission. This is very, very important because useful land we are save in this project. Also, for I would like to give the technical details. 30 megawatt Chandrava we have commissioned in 178 acre land. 1,21,000 around module we have installed, and cost of the project is 19 crore, and annual energy potential is 76,000 MWH. This is the main point of this project, and out of this cost, government of Gujarat funding 50% to GSCCL. So whatever cost of generation is coming, we are going for a PPA at half rate because 50% of government of Gujarat funding is there. So Chandra project is 1.43 paisa per unit, and Khandia is 1.23 paisa per unit. We did the PPA and this is very cheaper rate for the project. And for I would like to also say around 60,000 tons CO2 per year for 30 megawatt Chandra project, and if we are commission 2,500 megawatt capacity, then around 50 lakhs tons CO2 emission per annum we will reduce. So this is very good, and saving of the fertile land and minimum ecological on balance, and also very, very interior part of the state area will develop, and throughout the 25 years O&M will there, so villagers also give the uh, so this is our main part from GSC.
So this has been excellent effort which you have made out there. A couple of small questions. Most of this power is generated, they are coal based, or you're also using gas and oil fired generators? What is it? How is the distribution?
In our state,
how much is coal based and how much is gas and oil?
yes, in our Gujarat is a surplus energy state, as you know, and Gujarat having more than 30,000 megawatt capacity generation capacities, and just now we touch 21,000 megawatt peak in summer, and our GSCCL having around 7,000 megawatt capacity of generation. We having thermal, all kind of thermal power station, gas based, hydro, wind, and solar, all types of power generation we having.
Okay, all are included. I know, I appreciate all are included. I just wanted to know what's the distribution, or what's the thing, how much is the thermal, how much is the gas, and how much is the non-conventional or the renewable. In what way the direction in the power generation is moving, in case you could. If you have some data, it would be really very, very
Yes,
interesting.
I having the data, but I will give you within 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay, that's okay. We'll get back to it. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will now go over to the next. I think that's the point which I raised on the various type of power generations. So let us look into a little more on the renewable side. So let me invite Mr. Sunit Mathur, who is the Director Technical, Rajasthan Renewable Energy Corporation. Let us have his views on what all has been achieved and how he sees the direction in which the power generation in the renewable energy would be moving ahead over the next 5 years.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bhushan Mohan sir.
Yes.
And first of all, I would like to thank to the SKOCH Group, those who have given me this opportunity to share my experience regarding renewable energy development in the Rajasthan state. So I'm very much thankful to them. So first of all, I would like to say something brief about the introduction regarding RREC. Rajasthan Renewable Energy, we are working as a state nodal agency for the promotion of renewable energy in the Rajasthan state. And state nodal agency is of the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So we are working in this capacity. And apart from that, we are also working as a state designated agency for the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Because as you know that we are keeping on this talk continuously regarding generation side, but we are also supposed to take care about the saving of energy. So that's why that is on the that is a other side of the coin. We have to think about the savings of energy also. So we are working as a state designated agency, and we are supposed to enforce the provision of the Energy Conservation Act in the state also. As you know that Rajasthan is basically having an advantageous position regarding certain points, that we are having some highest solar insolation that is up to the tune of the 5.72 units kilowatt hours per meter square per day.
Oh, that's great.
And maximum sunny days are available here, fortunately. That is, we generally consider out of 365 days, we are supposed to take care about the 325 days in a year where we can get the clear sunny days. And apart from that, the most important resource, which is now a supposed to be a gift for this Rajasthan state, I should say, that is the large chunks of the barren area. So that's why it is a very important point. So these are the three basic resources which are supposed to be harnessed by this Rajasthan state, and we can move for the maximum renewable energy installations. And as per study of MNRE in some past years, some RE potential for the Rajasthan state was 142 gigawatt. And for the wind, particularly, that is 127 gigawatt at the hub height of the 100 meters. So these are the, I think it is a quite good potential, and we are supposed to harness as much as possible. And so in that way, we are trying to push these harnesses through our investor-friendly RE policies. And in that, we have in 2019, we have released two important policies, that is Rajasthan Solar Energy Policy 2019 and Rajasthan Wind and Hybrid Energy Policy 2019. And it is very common that these are supposed to be considered under the industries category. So from that viewpoint, these industries means solar and wind energy are supposed to be considered in the Rajasthan Investment Promotion Scheme. Again, this policy was launched in 2019. So now these are the solar and wind when we consider it as an industry. So whatever the benefits they are supposed to get by the industries, these industries, solar and wind, also supposed to avail those facilities. So that is also a very important point. And with that, particularly pushing these areas through these policies, that is very important contribution of these policies to promote RE sector in Rajasthan state. Apart from that, we are having some provisions of storage promotion and RE-based EV charging stations in solar policy. And so that is why, again, a very important point which we have included in this Rajasthan Solar Energy Policy. So now we are working on the EV charging stations, which are RE-based. And we are trying to get, as you know, that all of our fraternity of the energy, or rather I should say that is renewable energy fraternity, they are also trying to get some solution regarding solar storage promotion. So that is, I think, when storage option will be there, or rather I should say that some commercial viable operation will, solution will be there, then definitely RE will be boosted up, and we need not require to up to maximum extent of this thermal power. So that is why my assumption. What I should say something, because I am confident about RE. Rather, some other facilities which we have provided in our policy, that is some online facility for applying registrations of RE projects. As I already told you, that we are working as a state nodal agency. So every investor is supposed to get their registrations at our RREC website, so that they can directly get the registration from our side. Apart from that, developer can also avail benefits under RIPS, that is Rajasthan Investment Promotion Policy 2019, through this one-stop shop, because they are supposed to give their proposal there, and if they want to get some specific concessions, so they have to submit their proposals there, and further they move to Renewable Energy Corporation. Now I would like to throw some light on achievements, that is installed capacity, in particularly what category you have gave this award up to the semi-final stage to RREC. That is solar, its installed capacity is 12,564 megawatts, and wind is 4,338 megawatt, whereas biomass capacity is 120 megawatt. So total RE installed capacity is more than 17,000 megawatts. Or I think that is also, I would like to connect it with that the total installed capacity of the Rajasthan state is approximately 31,000. And out of that, more than 17,000 is of RE based. So I would like to mention here that more than 50% of the capacity in terms of installed capacity, we are having a RE installations. Some few more achievements I would like to share with you. That is, Rajasthan is the first state to commission 5,000 megawatt capacity solar in a single financial year in the country. Another, we are also the first state to achieve 10 gigawatt benchmark in solar commission capacity. And now, yesterday, I think MNRE has released the data of the RE installed capacity. You might be aware of that. That is more than 17,000 megawatt. So now, throughout the country also, RE capacity, Rajasthan is on the top first. And I think Kusum scheme is, you are all aware that in particular this capacity, Kusum A component rather I should say, because we are dealing with that scheme only, in which solar plants of capacity of 500 kilowatt to 2 megawatt are supposed to be installed at a nearby area of up to 5 kilometers from the particular GSS of the distribution companies. So in that category, we have also, I think Rajasthan was the only first state who have installed 22 projects having a capacity of 21 megawatt. Yesterday, 2 projects were further added in that, and including those projects, 22 projects as of now of having 21 megawatt capacity have been commissioned so far under the Kusum A component. So that is also one of the very important scheme. And I think with this particular scheme, the distribution companies may reduce their distribution losses up to maximum extent. So as end users are there, and directly they can supply the power generated to the particular grid, and from there only they can distribute the power to the further end users. Apart from it, rooftop solar is also a very important aspect right now, because in some residential category, as you know, that MNRE is providing this subsidies for that. And under this category, so far as on date, means up to 31st of March, we have installed 748 megawatt of rooftop capacity. So this is also one of the good achievement, and we are having a second position at the national level for the rooftop solar installations. Solar parks also, we are working on that area. As on date, largest solar park which has been installed at Bhadla in Jodhpur district of Rajasthan, where this having a capacity of 2245 megawatt, 2245 megawatt, and it is the largest solar park. Apart from that, we are also in the process, or we are also under the execution work of the solar park of having a capacity of 925 megawatt at Nok district, Jaisalmer. Because as you know that western part of the Rajasthan is the most preferential area for these installations, because maximum solar insolation is available there. And apart from that, private solar parks having capacity of 21,500 megawatt capacity have been registered so far. So further in future, we hope so that it will be definitely will be installed under the state energy policy 2019. So now further, we are also, as a way forward, we would also like to share that these RE policies, some land policies are also under some discussion at the level of the government. And we are all hopeful that if the land policy will be there, then definitely this land policy is particularly for those category of the developers or investors, those who are having not the allocation from any area, means they are not covered under the bidding category, or they are not having the tied up with the end user, those who are going to purchase that power from the RE generator. So in that category, land policy is under preparation. So I think hopefully that will be another major helpful area in which I think we get very much help from this area. Apart from that, recently Invest Rajasthan Summit 2022 was there, and in that summit, more than rupees 8 lakh crores investment. We have signed the MOU and LOIs from different CPSUs like NTPC, SJVN, THDC, SECI, Reliance Energy, and Axis Energy. These are all means CPSUs, and Reliance is also the private group. Axis Energy is a private group. So this is also one of that. Apart from that, is a growing new sector is green hydrogen project. We are having in Bikaner area 3.1 megawatt capacity of which has been installed by Acme Clean Tech. So that is again they are producing ammonia, green ammonia. So this is also one of that important aspect. And apart from that, one more point which I want to give you this information, that in under customized package for private developers, under again it is a RIPS policy, that is Rajasthan Investment Promotion Scheme, approximately 34,000 megawatt capacity of solar, wind and hybrid and storage with total investment of 1.67 crore we have approved in this under customized package. So these are the all, I think we want to not take much more time of you, and definitely these will be helpful for
I think
future also.
What you have covered is a very, very comprehensive approach which you have adopted. It's not only the solar, it's primarily the renewable, and also going to the customer side, how he can reduce his or be more efficient in his utilization, so preventing the losses there. Just one small question. You did talk about the generating capacity. It has exceeded the conventional capacity today. But as far as the megawatt hours, the energy is concerned, what is the ratio right now? What is the ratio right now? How much percentage is being generated?
That is approximately 8%. 8%. yeah, in terms of energy, if we talk,
Uh-huh.
that is why I mentioned that that 50%, more than 50% is of the installed capacity, not
No,
in terms of energy.
no, I can
Yeah,
understand because as
yeah,
far as the solar is concerned,
yeah,
your
right.
production is not more than 8 to 9 hours in a day,
Yeah,
as
exactly,
against
exactly.
24
Yeah,
hours. We all understand that, but still 8%, I think it's a long way to go.
yeah,
And I'm sure with the storage techniques and other things which
yeah, definitely, definitely.
you would be
Once,
able to improve
definitely.
on this number,
Yeah,
and by exploiting the wind energy also you would be
yeah.
able to exploit.
Once I think storage solution will be there, then definitely we will be.
Because
We can
today you
boost
are
this.
limited to what the grid can absorb at that particular time.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes,
you
exactly.
may have higher capacity, but it will still not be
Right,
used because
right,
of the limitations of the grid.
definitely.
We appreciate that. And I think those are the things in the policy which also have to be looked
Yeah,
as you go forward on this particular thing. Thank you very much. In case
thank you,
there are questions, we'll come back again. Let me now
definitely.
move over to Mr. Samir Chandra Roy, Executive Director Engineering of the West Bengal Power Development Corporation. I've come to know you have done a lot in many areas in a very, very innovative way. Sir, we would like to have your views also on this particular thing. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon to and warm regards to all the respected panel members. And we have really been enlightened with a lot of perspectives of power generation which is happening in various parts of the country. I am representing West Bengal Power Development Corporation, and we are producing more than 60% power in the state of West Bengal. And as you might be knowing, West Bengal is the second in power generation as of today after Mahagenco within the country. We are around 9,000 megawatt of power generation, million unit generation, a little bit less than Mahagenco. But among the state Gencos, we are able to produce power because of one aspect that we are close to the coal belt. So our power generation, as you know, is mostly 95% plus is coming out of the thermal, West Bengal Power Development Corporation. Though we have been nominated here for the floating solar projects, which is in one of our power plants in the intake pond, we have made a 5 megawatt floating power. And for West Bengal, most of the projects which we are planning to go through is on the floating solar, because land availability is a problem on this side. So whatever renewable power we are building, West Bengal Power Development is building around 50 megawatt. We are building in 5 plants. Those are mostly floating solar projects. But we have one big upcoming project in Bokreshwar. Bokreshwar is one of our thermal power plants, and adjacent to that we have Bokreshwar Dam. So we are coming up with a 500 megawatt single point floating solar project. Though looking into perspective of Rajasthan, it's looking very small, but for us, a 500 megawatt is a big project, and there may be some more projects which will be coming up for permission from the ministry as well as from the environment clearance, because as you know, we have got multiple of different type of projects which has been built, like the Purulia pump storage project. It's also kind of renewable energy, where we have the upper dam and the lower dam, and we connect it and get the power. Though it is not being controlled by PDCL, it is from West Bengal ACB DCL. But we are trying to attack the problem of the thermal versus non-thermal in other perspectives, like I explained to you in the floating solar projects, or maybe the bigger hydel projects. Now, in terms of West Bengal Power Development Corporation, who is producing, whose generation capacity is around 4,750 megawatt, we are able to continuously produce power because of one effect, that we have got 5 coal mines within the state and a little bit in Jharkhand also. We have got in Pachwara North, Pakur, all these plants, we are able to transfer around 12 to 14 rakes of coal on a daily basis to the 5 power plants which we are having. We are having Shagardigi, which is around 1600 megawatt. There is Bakrishwar, which is around 1250 megawatt. Kolaghat is around 800 megawatt, and 500 megawatt is at Sauntaldi, and also 300 megawatt in Bandel. Now, all these power plants, our productivity is good to the level that our generation, if we see, our PLF factor is practically the highest in the country. We are running, last year we have done around 79.55 as the PLF factor, which is pretty high. And this has been ensured by keeping a continuous tap on the mining supplies and the movement of the coal through the railways. Because nowadays, as you know, in last 1 year, the production from Coal India has not been very much supportive for all the power gencos. Everybody has suffered, not only we. But due to the mining capacity and ensuring the transportation is done effectively, we have been able to maintain a very good position during last year from April to September period. Our Sauntaldi power plant was #1 in terms of the generation, and within 1 to 10 we are having three units: Shagardigi, Sauntaldi, and Bakrishwar, who has got over the full year the position 3, 5, and 9, I think, in terms of the PLF, and that shows that effectively we are able to utilize the plants. Now, going forward in terms of the renewable energy, we already have installed in all the power plants rooftop solar, land-based solar, as well as the floating solar. And we are trying to make the PAF also, power availability factor also, as greater than 80. We expect by next year presently our internal coal consumption out of the kitty of the total generation is nearly 75%, and next year we expect that we should be able to utilize at least 90% plus in terms of our kitty for the power generation through internal coal movement. I think that is in short of our capability in terms of WBPDCL, and overall within the state, as I told you, generation from us is helping us in profit also, because up to from 2016 to 2019 our profitability was in the range of around 18 to 20 crores, and 2021 our profit was around 240 crores, and 21-22 our profit will be more than 500 crores. So this profitability we have achieved in terms of the efficient operation from mining, as well as the efficient operation for the plant itself, wherein the power, whatever the CA has fixed up the power rate, we could manage well within the cost, and also keep the cost of the generation lower by controlling the O&M cost for the plant. And that has helped as an organization, as a power genco. I think our profitability is nearly the highest in the country in terms of operational efficiency.
Excellent, excellent. I think that's a great job that you have done. We very well understand West Bengal is not that sun-rich, but it is a water-rich area where you have almost 3 to 4 months of rain. So naturally, it is difficult to exploit the solar. But of course, you can exploit more of tidal power in your hilly area. Anyhow, but you have a tremendous...
We know around 2000 megawatt of various projects are in the drawing board. Today itself, Asia Development Bank is meeting our chief secretary, and there are various propositions which is going on. I cannot divulge that, but we are targeting some 1500 megawatt of various big hydel, as well as around 2000 megawatt of the solar projects, which may be mostly 60% will be on the bigger dams. We have the dams in Bakreshwar, we have the dam in Maurakshi. All these bigger dams we are targeting to make floating solar, such that the land crisis does not come in and we get a better generation, because floating solar, the power loss is less, as you know, compared to the land.
Thus, I know your floating idea is an excellent, innovative idea. I think that's really worth appreciating. That's fantastic. I think that's a great job that has been done. As far as
Thank you very much, sir.
You really exploited the pit heads where you can really exploiting the proximity of coal. I think that's an excellent job done. I'm very, very happy.
Thank you very much, sir.
We have, in a way, cut across the power generation, the thermal, the non-thermal, the renewable, the transmission, and the distribution. Yes, one thing has really not come up in today's discussion, which is also important. It used to be very, very important. That's the nuclear power generation, which again is very important as far as the country is concerned. So I really don't know. Much of it is being done, I know, in Tamil Nadu. There is a nuclear power plant in Rajasthan also, Maharashtra also. But it has not progressed as the traditional power generation is concerned. I really don't know how it is going to be in future. But in future, what I know, as far as one of the major infrastructure transportation is concerned, that will depend more and more on electric power rather than the fossil fuel. As I read today, Indian Railways have already electrified 80% of their tracks and more are on the way. Similarly, on the road transport, more and more of electric vehicles are coming up, especially in the cities. And I know in North America, even for the long distance journey, people are today using their electric cars. So maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, we will see transportation as one of the major consumer of the electric power. And I feel the energy sector and the electricity sector has to be aware of that particular new opportunity which is going to come up in time to come.
Sir, I can share a little bit information here, because for West Bengal, it has been told that we have to put up EV stations in every 15 to 20 kilometers on both sides on every highways, and as well as in the cities also within certain coverage area, say like 1 or 2 square kilometers, so many EV stations, which we will, means West Bengal State Board will be putting up, may not be WBPDCL, but ACDCL would be putting up around 6 to 8,000 EV charging stations. And since these EV charging stations also will be a little bit costly, so we are talking to the financiers for financing the same on a 10 to 20 years return of investment basis. So there is a government stipulation for building of EV stations all across the country, and all the state electricity boards has been mandated to put up such things. Though the private people may be consuming more, they may connect it from their home, but looking into the two-wheelers and the commercial vehicles, this infrastructure will be coming up in the country within next 2 to 3 years time.
Excellent, excellent. I'm sure
already
the things are going to drastically change over the next 40
It is changing, sir. I can tell you, you know, this auto in Bengal, they call it Toto. So they have put in, they have put some improvised, they have removed the main motors and all, and they have put the battery system. And outside of Calcutta, it is very popular now. People get down from the suburb trains and take the Totos.
Okay.
So, and it is not waiting for any multinational to put up the plants. They are doing it all locally. They are just putting the batteries which is required for the regular car or regular other commercial vehicles, and with that they are doing it.
You know, nothing can beat our own ingenuity and innovativeness.
That innovativeness is already in work, and we can see a lot of people here keep on utilizing, and it's the risk is that when it just passes by, then only you know there is a sound. Otherwise,
that's right.
We are used to a lot of honking and all.
I will request SKOCH Group, Dr. Gursharan, to actually focus on that area also. It's a very, very irregular, it's not a regularized industry, but that's a very, very great innovative area where people in this country are really working on. I think we need to publicize
Common
that.
people are working. The biggest part is
Common people, not the industry. I think that
they are
is
not waiting. If I tell you that there may be 50,000 totos working within 50 kilometer or 100 kilometer stretch of Calcutta, people will get shocked. 50,000. But yes, just go and count. It's a big number, and common people are using it.
Yes, I know both milk and other deliveries come to my house in the morning in an electric vehicle, and it's very impressive. I'm very happy to see that.
In fact, that's an increasing trend now for all these, short distance deliveries are being done using electric bikes.
Yes. That is all being done by electric bikes.
Different avatars of.
Only thing is that they are charging it at their home, but once they get the assurance that yes, it is available within 500 meters of my journey distance, then people will start more utilizing that. But it is another 2 years where this infrastructure will be built.
Next step, naturally, it has to come because the critical mass would be generated by then, and the demand will start fueling the economy.
Okay.
Yes, certainly. I would once again express my thanks and gratitude to the SKOCH team for selecting us for one of the awards.
You're welcome.
And this is a continuity. We got it in 2019, and I think after the COVID now, this year we have again got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Blessing be added to your work. I only wish that, the good work keeps on happening and keeps on building year on year, so that we continue to meet at least once in a year to celebrate yours.
Sure, sir. With all your best wishes.
Bhushan ji.
Yes. I think the session is now almost at the end. Unless there are any questions, any of the panelists would like to ask any question or clarification or anything? I think
Sir, with your kind permission, I would like to add something.
Yes.
In our India, we are focusing on the battery storage also. Solar with battery storage, BESS. And recently we have awarded 35 megawatt solar with 57 MWh battery storage in Kutch, our Kutch power station. And future is peak after daytime, night or in early morning, we are giving power from the battery to the consumer. This is recent our development. And also I would like to inform all jury members and our SKOCH group, GSCCL is going to develop 3,325 megawatt in Khavda. Honorable PM vision is there, 30,000 megawatt. Now the 30,000, we are developing 3,325 megawatt. We are also going for 500 megawatt floating solar.
Oh, that's good. That's excellent.
And 500 megawatt with battery storage. This is our within 3 years planning.
That's excellent. That's really, really very good. I think that's
yes.
Good. I think with this we come to the end of the session. I would now hand over back to Dr. Gursharan to continue the next one.
This has been very interesting, various aspects of, the sector, which once upon a time, people only would talk about the problems and, solutions were still too far-fetched. But today we have reached a situation wherein there's a lot of innovation going on. Leveraging of technology was limited perhaps to only a few areas, but now it has gone down to the doorstep of the consumer. And whether it is to do with the TND or TNC losses, everything is kind of being watched with very sharp eyes. And with the renewables coming in, I'm sure in times to come, our dependence on the regular electricity supply, generation and supply will be much complemented, and hopefully the outages, which is what we see today, will be the talk of the past. So congratulations to all the participants. Thank you very much, Bhushanji, for so beautifully steering it through, and such takeaways on the achievements are really, really very, very encouraging. Thank you very much.